So we are doing the same steps as yesterday, same steps. Some things are going to look a little different. So what does step 1 say to do?
Isolate one radical.
Okay, isolate one radical. So what I want you to do is box in the radical. I want you to box in the radical. What number has to move? The 2. How do you move that 2? You divide it. Very good, because these are being multiplied, so you divide both sides by 2. So square root x plus 2 equals 1. Okay? Square root of x plus 2 equals 1. Then how do you get rid of a square root? Square both sides. So the square root and the square cancel. And 1 squared is 1. Okay? And last you subtract 2. So x equals negative 1. Okay? Do I need to do anything more, or is that my answer? You have to check it. Okay? So you plug it back into the original. 2 square root negative 1 plus 2. And guys, you need to do it step by step in the calculator. Don't try to type everything in at one time. Some of it's a lot easier if you do it in your head, because you don't have to worry about all the parentheses and stuff in the calculator. What's negative 1 plus 2 in your head? 1. Square root of 1 is times 2 is 2. So that one checks out. Okay? Bless you. All right, number 2, please mark out the problem on your paper and write this one. X equals the square root of 56 minus x. Mark out this problem and write this other problem. Okay? Okay? All right, so is the square root by itself? Are there any numbers on the outside of it? No. Okay, so it's by itself. So you can go ahead and get rid of it. How do you get rid of the square root? You square both sides. You square both sides. So what am I left with right here? X squared. And here the square root and the square cancel. Okay? So I have x squared equals 56 minus x. All right? And so when I have a problem like this, when I have an x squared and an x, you move everything to one side. Okay? Move everything to one side. So x squared, the minus x becomes plus x, and the 56 is negative. Okay? Okay, guys, you have 2 options. You can do A, B, C, and do the quadratic formula, and that will work. It always works, okay? You may also factor it. X and x. 2 things that multiply to give me negative 56. Negative 7 and positive 8. Okay? What happens when you add negative 7 and positive 8? You get positive 1. Is that what I want? Yeah, there's a positive 1 in the middle. So I write x minus 7, x plus 8. And then I need to do another step. Set them equal to 0, which just means that x is going to become 7, and this one's going to become negative 8. So you're setting them equal to 0, and that's why they change signs. Okay, we're just skipping writing that step. Okay, let's plug them in. So we'll start with 7. What's 56 minus 7? All right, 49. What's the square root of 49? 7. And so it's supposed to equal 7. Okay? So look, if you plug it in both sides, 7 equals the square root of 56 minus 7. So that worked. Okay? What should I plug in next? Negative 8. So negative 8 equals the square root of 56 minus negative 8. Okay, so minus a negative turns into a positive. Okay? What's 56 plus 8? 64. What's the square root of 64? 8. Is it negative 8? No. So you cross out negative 8. What's the technical name for that one?
Or the extraneous.
The extraneous solution. So negative 8 is the extraneous solution. It's the one that doesn't work. And so your answer is just 7. Okay. Questions? Okay. Number 3, box in your square root. Box in your square root. So is there anything that needs to move? The 4. The 4 moves, okay? And how do I get rid of plus 4? You subtract 4, okay? Which gives me 2. Okay? Now you can square both sides, but you have to get the square root by itself first. Okay? Gotta get the square root by itself first. So square both sides. So the square root and the square cancel. And then what do you do last? Add the 5. Good. Okay. All right, let's try checking it without a calculator. So you're plugging in 9. What's 9 minus 5? 4. What's the square root of 4? 2. Plus 4? 6. Okay. All right, here's what's new. Here's what's new. It's really easy though. Number 4, this one has an exponent of 3 over 2. To get rid of this exponent, you do the reciprocal of it. So if you have a rational exponent, rational means fraction. If you have a rational exponent, you do the reciprocal of it, okay? What's the reciprocal of 3 over 2? 2 over 3. So you flip it. You got to do it to both sides. It's the 2/3 power. Okay? It's the 2/3 power. These two cancel each other out. Let's talk about why. What's 3 times 2? What's 2 times 3? And what's 6 divided by 6? 1. So those cancel each other out. Okay? All right. Type this in your calculator. Make sure you're using parentheses when you do the 2/3 of the fraction. So it's 343, caret key, parentheses 2/3. You need to type it in to make sure you know how to do it. 343, caret key to the 2/3. What are you getting?
49.
If you're not getting 49, you should ask. Okay, so 49 equals 26 minus x. Okay. All right, what do I do next? Good, minus 26, which gives me 23. 23 equals x?
No,
It's negative x. It's negative x.
you divide by -1.
Divide by -1. Divide both sides by -1. And what do you get x to be? Negative 23. Okay. Divide both sides by -1. Uh-huh.
Instead of doing that, can you just move 49 to like the
Sure. Yep. You can. All right, so x is negative 23. So when I plug that back in, 26 minus negative 23, that's going to turn into a plus. So 26 plus 23 is 49, and you have to raise that to the 3 over 2. You raise it to the original. Type it in your calculator. 49 to the 3 over 2. So does it work? Okay. So your answer is negative 23. That one works. Okay. All right, flip it over. All right, number 5, I want you to box this part in, the part with the rational exponent. I want you to box that in. Somebody who hasn't answered today, what do you think you do first? Danny? Very good. You subtract the 7, which gives you 9. Okay. Now you can do the reciprocal. Okay, once you get it by itself, you can do the reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 1/2? 2 over 1, which is just 2. Okay, 2 over 1 is just 2, okay? So these two do what? Those cancel. What's 9 squared? 81. Somebody who hasn't answered today, what do I do last? Very good. Okay. All right, guys, once again, when you try to check your answer on this one, do it one step at a time. So do 9 times 9, which some of y'all can do without the calculator, which is great. 9 times 9. Let's see if I can make this. Where's the ladybug? Oh, way down here. Okay, so 9 times 9, press enter, and then I have to raise that to what power? Go back to the original, to the 1/2. So you got to use parentheses, and then press enter, and then add 7. Okay, so do it step by step. And does it work? Yeah. All right, number 6, box that in. Okay. Somebody who hasn't answered, what do I do first? Good. Subtract 10 from both sides. Okay. All right, then what do I do? Good, the reciprocal. So what's the reciprocal of 1/3? 3 over 1, which is just 3, okay? So those cancel. So I'm left with 125x equals okay. All right, then what do you do? All right, and so x is 1, okay? All right, I'll give you a second to check it. So 125 times 1, you can do that without the calculator, is 125. Go ahead and put that to the 1/3 in your calculator. So 125 to the 1/3. Okay, plus 10? 15. Okay, so that one works. Okay. All right, what do I do first on number 7? Yeah, you do the reciprocal. Why don't you move the 1 to the other side first? Because it's in the parentheses. Good. Okay, so you go ahead and do the reciprocal on this one. So those cancel. So 1 minus 5x equals 36. Okay. All right, do I add this one or subtract it? Subtract it, because the minus is with the 5, okay? This 1 is positive, so you minus 1 from both sides. So you're left with negative 5x equals 35. And then divide by negative 5. Okay, so x equals negative 7. Okay. This 5. When you divide, you don't change the sign. Okay? All right, 2 more. Number 8, oh yeah, sorry, check. Negative 7, when you plug it in, what's negative 5 times negative 7? What? Positive, okay? And then when you add the 1, so sorry, here, best way to do it. All right, best way to do it. 1 minus 5, parentheses, negative 7. So you're plugging in negative 7, press enter. And then I have to raise that to the 1/2, okay? Which, does that work? Right? 6, the original? Okay. All right, number 8. Can, anybody think of what to do first? All right, you isolate the radical. So, a helpful strategy is to box it in. That's a helpful strategy, okay? Do you move the 3 first or the 6?
The 6.
Okay, so you add 6 to both sides. Okay? And let me box it again. Okay? What do I do next? Divide by 3. It's being multiplied. So divide by 3. Divide by 3. So square root of x equals 6. Okay? And now you're ready to do what?
Square.
Square both sides. Okay? So x equals 36. Okay? All right, when I plug it back in, the square root of 36 is 6 times 3. 18 minus 6? 12. So that one does work. Okay? All right, last one, guys. Number 9. How many square roots do I have? 2. I need one to be on the left and one to be on the right. So I'm going to move this one over to the other side. So right now, they're subtracting this square root. Do you see the subtraction sign right here? Do y'all see the subtraction sign right here? Okay. So technically what we're doing is we are adding this to both sides is technically what we're doing. So those two would cancel and you're left with square root 7 minus x equals, what's 0 plus that? The same thing, right? Okay. So you really want one to be on the left and one to be on the right. You don't need to show all this work. I'm just trying to show you mathematically what's happening, okay? All right, what do I do when there's a square root on both sides?
You square them both and they both cancel out.
Okay, square both, cancel out. So I'm left with 7 minus x equals 2x minus 5.
Okay.
Then what? Good, combine like terms. So when I move, I'm gonna move minus x over here, so plus x, that gives me 3x. And I'll move the minus 5 over here and add it. Oops. Okay. Divide by 3. All right, let's check it. So I'll write this one out. 7 minus 4 minus the square root of 2 times 4 minus 5. Okay? 7 minus 4? 3. So this would be the square root of 3, which you can't do. That's irrational. 2 times 4? Minus 5? So would the square root of 3 minus the square root of 3 give you 0? Yes. Right? So 4 is my